Well, y'all, we are back. We are on day 53 of this wondrous story. By golly, look at us go. We were starting out at the top of page 241. We had just got done with some stuff that was basically a whole long bit of sand. And we were getting into the words of Jeremiah were clear. But the kings who followed Josiah refused to listen. They grew increasingly brash, ignoring the prophet's warnings and wisdom. Their tactics of duplicity and greed were destined to fail. I know y'all didn't get in here to learn all the big words right, because that ain't even a big one. Come on now. Finally, Judah's kings had to face Babylon's full military muscle, rock hard and set to kill. How's that going to go for them? The Lord, the God of their ancestors, sent word to them through his messengers again and again, because he had pity on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked God's messengers, despite his words, and scoffed at his prophets until the wrath of the Lord was aroused against his people, and there was no remedy. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 11 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, his God, and did not humble himself before Jeremiah, the prophet, who spoke the words of the Lord. He also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who had made him take an oath in God's name. Ooh. He became stiff-necked. There we go. We're back. And hardened his heart and would not turn to the Lord. Them old stiff-necked, hardened heart people. The God of Israel. He just would not turn to the God of Israel. Furthermore, it's God of all the places too. But furthermore, all the leaders of the priests and the people became more and more unfaithful. We ain't just talking people. Priests are becoming unfaithful, following all the detestable practices of the nations and defiling the temple of the Lord, which he had consecrated in Jerusalem. Come on, people. So in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army. He encamped outside the city and built siege works all around it. The city was kept under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. By the 9th day of the 14th month, the famine of the city had become so severe that there was no food for the people to eat. On the surface, it appeared that God had abandoned his people. Where was his mercy now? Zedekiah and his associates, I wonder what they did on the next page, wanted Jeremiah to step in and ask God for help. Instead, Jeremiah foretold defeat and death as the consequence of the people's continued sin. Whew. The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord when King Zedekiah sent to him Pashur, son of Malchijah, and and the priest Zephaniah, son of Messiah. They said, "Inquire now of the Lord for us, because Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, is attacking us. Perhaps the Lord will perform wonders for us as in times past, so that he will withdraw from us." They're just wanting a little reprieve. Now, we know that they do scream loud enough, God hears, and sometimes does do something. Doesn't look like maybe this is what Jeremiah is thinking. But Jeremiah answered them, Tell Zedekiah, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I am about to turn against you the weapon of war that are in your hands, which you are using to fight the king of Babylon and the Babylonians who are outside the wall besieging you. And I will gather them inside this city. I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and a mighty arm, in furious anger and in great wrath. So funny, because that's how he got him out of Egypt, was with an outstretched hand and a mighty arm. But guess what? Not the same story here, is it? Something has changed. Great wrath is on the way. I will strike down those who live in this city, both man and beast, and they will die of a terrible plague. After that, declares the Lord, I will give Zedekiah, king of Judah, his officials, and the people in this city who survived the plague, sword, and famine into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to their enemies who want to kill them. He will put them to the sword. He will show them no mercy or pity or compassion. Furthermore, tell the people, this is what the Lord says. See, I am setting before you the way of life and the way of death. Whoever stays in this city will die by the sword, famine, or plague. But whoever goes out and surrenders to the Babylonians who are besieging you will live. They will escape with their lives. I have determined to do this city harm and not good, declares the Lord. It will be given into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he will destroy it with fire. City's going down. Then the city wall was broken through, and the whole army fled at night through the gate between the two walls near the king's garden. Though the Babylonians were surrounding the city, they fled toward Arba. But the Babylonian army pursued the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his soldiers were separated from him and scattered, and he was captured. He was taken to the king of Babylon in Riblah, where sentence was pronounced on him. They killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. Then they put out his eyes, bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon. On the 7th day of the 15th month, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, commander of these guys, his names are too close, y'all. Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuzaradan. God, we need bigger names farther away, guys. The commander, though, of the imperial guard, an official of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Oh, y'all, I just got to go back to that. If I was still in the military, one of them would have been Nezer and the other would have been Radin. Because if you got names alike, we look for something different. And Nebuzaradan. So we'd be Radin and Nezer. We got Radin and Nezer here. We don't need no Nebuchadnezzar nothing or Neba nothing. Yeah, anyway, that's beside anything. So they set everything on fire. Every important building he burned down. The whole Babylonian army, under the commander of the imperial guard, broke down the walls around Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, or Radin, the commander of the guard, carried into exile the people who remained in the city, along with the rest of the populace, and those who had deserted the king of Babylon. Deserted. They deserted the king of Babylon? Okay. But the commander left behind some of the poorest people of the land to work the vineyards and the fields. So Judah went into captivity away from her land. Jerusalem had fallen, but the prophet Jeremiah was not deported. Rather, Nebuchadnezzar advised him to reside with the region's new governor, Gedaliah. Shortly thereafter, Gedaliah was assassinated. Many of the Jews still in Judah, afraid of Babylon's reprisal, fled to Egypt and forced Jeremiah to go with them. Jewish tradition says Jeremiah was stoned to death while living in Egypt. But Jeremiah's heart was always in the holy city of his homeland. Once busy with trade and prayer, now empty and still, Jeremiah wept bitterly for his people. How deserted lies the city, once so full of people. Yeah, how does it? How like a widow is she, once who once was great among the nations. She who was queen among provinces has now become a slave. Bitterly she weeps at night. Tears are on her cheek. Among all her lovers there is no one to comfort her. All her friends have betrayed her. They have become her enemies. After afflictions and harsh labor, Judah has gone into exile. She dwells among the nations. She finds no resting place. All who pursue her have overtaken her in the midst of her distress. The Lord has done what he planned. He has fulfilled his word, which he decreed long ago. He has overthrown you without pity. He has let the enemy gloat over you. He has exalted the horn of your foes. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion. Therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those who hope in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Remember, Lord, what has happened to us? Look and see our disgrace. Joy is gone from our hearts. Our dancing has turned to mourning. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. You, Lord, reign forever. Your throne endures for generations to generation. Why do you always forget us? Why do you forsake us so long? Restore us to yourselves, Lord, or to yourself, Lord, that we may return, renew our days of old. Y'all, this is either going to be a long one or a short one because we don't have enough left, but we have too much left. Though Jeremiah was faced with sorrow and tragedy, he trusted in God's mercies, as did Ezekiel. Before Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians, the prophet Ezekiel warned the people of the destruction that was to come. And yet, once Ezekiel and his fellow exiles in Babylon received the news that Jerusalem had fallen, his message turned to hope. Although the people had turned their backs on God, they would again receive abundance of undeserved grace and mercy. Therefore, say to the Israelites, this is what the sovereign Lord says. It is not for your sake, people of Israel, that I am going to go or do these things, but for the sake of my holy name, which you have profaned among the nations where you have gone. I will show the holiness of my great name, which has been profaned among the nations, the name you have profaned among them. Then the nations will know that I am the Lord, declares the sovereign Lord, when I am proved holy through you before their eyes, for I will take you out of the nations. I will gather you from all the countries and bring you back into your own land. I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you from all your impurities and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and to be careful to keep my laws. Then you will live in the land I gave your ancestors. You will be my people, and I will be your God. This is what the sovereign Lord says. On the day I cleanse you from all your sins, I will resettle your towns, and the ruins will be rebuilt. The desolate land will be cultivated instead of lying desolate in the sight of all who pass through it. They will say, this land that was laid waste has become like the Garden of Eden, and the cities that were lying in ruins, desolate and destroyed, are now fortified and inhabited. Then the nations around you that remain will know that I, the Lord, have rebuilt what was destroyed and have replanted what was desolate. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it. The hand of the Lord was on me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of the valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, Son of man, can these bones live? I said, Sovereign Lord, you alone know. And he said to me, Prophesy to these bones, and say to them, Dry bones, hear the words of the Lord. This is the sovereign Lord, says to these bones, I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and tendons and flesh appeared on them, and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the breath, prophesy, Son of man, and say to it, This is what the sovereign Lord says. Come breathe from the four winds, and breathe into these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them. They came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the people of Israel. They say, Our bones are dried up, and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, This is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am the Lord, when I open your graves and bring you up from them. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live. I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it, declares the Lord. Y'all, there we are. Good stuff right there. We finished on page 248, and we're going into chapter 18. That's why we had to go long, because it was too short for another day of that, or we would have had two really short days. I said, let's make it just one long one. So I hope y'all are good with that. I hope that works good for y'all. Hey, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for looking in here. Hey, give it a like, a share, subscribe, whatever it is. Put a little comment, say what you liked or didn't like about it. But I love y'all. Have a blessed day and